Hey everybody, welcome to the shop. Wait a minute, let's do that again. Hey everybody, welcome to the new shop. Yep, it's a work in progress to say the least. No, not that, that's my shed. This is the new shop. In fact, we're actually standing in the garage. This is the wood shop. It's basically the same size as the shop I have now. Actually, it's the same size as my first wood shop when I lived up in Brookville. It's 32 by 32. There'll be a porch across the full length of this from the corner there to where the building makes a turn. Then the building is 40, the roof line changes. The building is 40 foot left to right then. And it's 70 feet up to where the garage starts, and then the last 30 feet is the garage. The garage is got 10-foot ceilings with scissor trusses to make room for a car stacker for 2 El Caminos. Then the auto part of the shop is 12-foot with scissor trusses, and very much like my last 2 shops, in the back of the auto shop, which will be back here. You can see that tree's got a white X, it's going away. Will be where the room within the room is, so that's where the machine shop will be. And then you'll turn right and there'll be a man door through here and into the wood shop. So where's the project at this stage? Engineer drawings are still being waited on. We're gonna permit this building. I've got all the subs lined up, either working through my builder or working directly with me. So today, at some point, they're going to start pushing off the topsoil and the sod and getting it leveled out. Got to take out some stumps. The tree guy will be here in the next few days. He's going to be taking down a bunch of these trees. They're going to be in the way. And either grinding stumps or leaving stumps so that they can be pulled if they're in an area where there's going to be cement poured. But yeah, it's going to get started here in a little bit, and for you it's going to be a very little bit. Let's see what happens next. Well, that didn't take long to get started. We're back down here at the corner of the wood shop. This is the lowest point in the excavating. And where they're at digging up there right now is the apron for the garages that face out towards the road. There's a lot more fall here than the eyeball would have thought. Instead of more like 3 feet, it's more like 5 feet. So we're gonna have to get creative up there in that corner. So where he's sitting now is basically the apron to the garages, and they're pushing off the grass and topsoil so that we get a better idea of where things are. They've already shot grade, and it'll go to daylight just the other side of that pile, but we should have plenty of dirt to work with. We're back. Let's see about the progress. Since the last time I took video out here, it's been quite a while. Not that there's been a lot of progress, but because we were waiting on the engineer drawings that had to go to the county to get the building permit. So one of the big changes we've had to make on the fly is which direction the garage doors point. And they used to face out towards the road this way, but because of this depth here, we can't do that. There's no room for an apron without getting into this big maple tree, and I wasn't willing to do that. So what we've done is we've turned the garages around the corner, and they now will be along this wall here. So the garage doors will be here, and then the big roll-up door into where I play with cars will be next to it. So all down one row. What that also means is, because we got the grade wrong, this is a post-built building, pole barn. We have to put a retaining wall in here, not a retaining wall, but actually a footer and low wall here, and then we're going to do it across the back as well, just so we can do a better grading job And that's really the big change is the doors have come around the corner. So you can see over here that we've raised this corner as much as we had to dig into the other corner. This is all going to get graded out much further. The shed's going to have to be moved over. Not real happy about that, but again, is what it is. The area here that's dirt, including out towards the driveway, will eventually be gravel and then cement. So after a really long wait for the engineer drawings, finally got those, got them into the county, and the county turned the building permit in less time than was expected. Yes, I said less time than expected. Next steps are going to be the footers and the walls. That's what this trailer load of forms is doing here. And the excavator is back, the little Mini X is back. RNA Concrete here in Xenia is doing all this work, doing a super good job. I'm excited to have some cement back in my life. I've had a gravel drive and gravel outside of my barns for enough years now. I've kind of been there, done that. It's been less than a day. You turn your back for one day and things happen. All right, welcome back to the barn build. Footers are going in for the knee wall. So this is the little wall that the building at this end will be built onto to keep the posts above the ground. Unexpected expense, but is what it is. I thought this went much further that way, but I guess not. Next thing is a pour for this. It's going to happen tomorrow apparently, and then walls go on top before the holiday weekend. See what you miss when you don't stop by for 2 days? Footers went in yesterday, forms today. So this is that little wall I was talking about to keep us above grade with the building structure itself. Started on the actual construction of the new shop. It's a good time to see the carnage that's going on with the move from this end. Yeah, she's a disaster. Cabinets are pretty much empty. A lot of things are gone. Sold the table saw. Gonna get a newer one. Yeah. I have no tools to work with. Nothing is in service. The hardware store is all packed up. Yeah. And then, as this is not a spur of the moment kind of thing, all the totes and wire baskets and stuff like that are all getting utilized. Everything's down from up there. It looks like I haven't done anything, but there's 6 of these, 8 of them already packed. We're pretty close. I've got to get everything out of the wood shop and the office, but I maintain occupancy of this space until the new shop's done, then I can move it out. The machine shop back there is all packed up, just ready to be moved out, but there's no reason to take it out of that room. In fact, we're going to put a few things in there, probably today. All right, back to why we're here. Let's see that barn get built.
foot shorter than it is to move everything up. I thought it looked a little low.
It is. I didn't notice it.
Well, I was looking at it, I was like, well, maybe that's how they wanted it.
Except without the concrete outside, it's fine.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Shit happens.
Kind of figured they'd start on these posts this morning that are sitting up on top of the wall, and I was not incorrect. Last truss on the 40-foot sides. And now the little ones. Two more to go. This is a shot from the window of the house. Probably hear the echo behind me. The trusses are all done on the wood shop. They got to put the end posts in now, or at some point. And the only roof section not done is the porch, which is right there by where the skid steer is sitting to the right of it. It is dusty and dry. A little bit of a chance of some rain. Might knock enough to knock the dust down, but that'll be it. And that'll be this evening. All right, so metal, and then we'll see how far they get today, and then we'll take a walk through the inside, and we can check out all the scissor trusses and things like that. It's late on a Sunday evening, and this is where they left off on Friday, actually. Looks like they still got a lot of screws to do, but they got panels up there. The missing screws are what are creating those wave marks right there. So this is the long side of the building here. And they got the other side of the garage roof done, and that's about where they ended on Friday. And tomorrow morning they'll be here bright and early. The expectation is that the metal will all be up by the end of Tuesday. Sorry about the glare. You can see the wood shop isn't quite done yet. So let's watch them finish up next. Yeah, it's Tuesday, about 11 o'clock. I didn't get any video yesterday. I got some still pictures from the air I shot with my drone. You can see those here. I had the roof on and started the house wrap yesterday. Now at 11 o'clock, they've been here about 5 hours or so. They usually start about 7. House wrap's on. They're still screwing the roof down. Some of the windows are in place now. We marked out where all of them were going yesterday. Looks like Sam's working on the door. And they're trimming out the porch. We're at the end of Tuesday, but Not as far as they'd anticipated, or I, for that matter. Their crew was short about 3 people today, so, and they were 1 short yesterday. So anyways, looks like they'll roll into tomorrow, which is no big deal. They did a lot of the fiddly trim and stuff, like around the porch. All the wainscoting is in, almost. I guess we got a little across the front here to go. But they'll be back tomorrow and finish her up. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be a full day unless they have their larger crew. If they have the big crew, it'll be a little bit after lunch, or they'll make it for a late lunch. Let's take a look at the back wall here. They've got it all whited out, and the lower metal is hung. It's not screwed down at the rat guard. The rat guard is the piece of trim at the bottom. They call it that because it keeps rats from crawling up the metal. But yeah, looking good. Let's take a quick look inside. Now, before we get inside, here we are at the porch. I asked them and they kindly obliged and installed a 4x6 I supplied to them for hanging the swing. So the swing that was on the front porch of the other house can now go here. This will all get covered in. The porch posts are my problem. I declined. They've got a really nice metal wrap, but I want to wrap these in cedar just to start to warm it up. It's going to be a lot of black and white. I want to try warming it up, doing something. Anyways, the doors are all in. Hey, look at that. I even got a key. And this is where we'll enter into the wood shop. The cement gets poured. There's 2 boards here. You can barely see they're tongue and groove together. The cement gets poured to this mark right here. So we're about 4 inches below grade right now. Here's the windows. They'd be considered a little high right now, but they'll be just perfect to put benches underneath or whatever I want. Got 4 of them in the wood shop. Never had this many windows in a wood shop. Never had a wood shop without a roll-up door, and I am glad to be without a roll-up door. My experience has shown me that I do not need a roll-up door. It's just a big air leak, and for the last, I don't know how many years since I built the CNC router, it is just sat in front of a door. So this corner over here is going to be a little powder room. I don't know if you call it a powder room when it's in a shop, but whatever. And right here, going right through this area, will be a 36, a 3.0 door. It's all glass, so you can see through it. It's actually an exterior grade door because this whole wall is insulated. And then there'll be a removable section right here. So I'll have a 70-inch opening across here, taking us into what I call the fabrication area. And we'll just sort of walk through here. Just like in my old shop, this is the corner of the wood shop here. There'll be a door in, and there'll be a machine shop in here. That's on me to fabricate, to build. Super tall ceilings. I'm about a foot below finished concrete, but with the scissor trusses in here, it's going to be really tall. So we're going to do super stout ceiling in here, so there's no issue with whatever I want to stack up there. One of my biggest shortcomings with this barn is just material storage. And it's not metal material. It's not cars either, actually, but wood. I have several thousand board feet of different species of wood, all palletized and ready to be picked up and set wherever. And I'm going to have to use the vertical space. That's what's going to wind up happening. So this area right in here, stopping where the trusses drop down, is really 3 times the size I have today to do cars and fabrication, welding and grinding and things like that. This is really where I grew, was in this area. That's where my interest grew. My machine shop that I just mentioned, that'll get bigger. Wood shop is, for all intents and purposes, the exact same size. Some things won't be in it, like the CNC mill won't be in the wood shop anymore. It'll actually be in the machine shop over there. But it'll have a bathroom. So, you know, give a little, take a little. But I know from experience that is plenty of wood shop for the type of cabinetry and furniture that I do and the amount that I do and the equipment that I have. But this area is about triple. That is a 12-foot wide, 10-foot high door. Not enough to bring my RV in, but that's okay. And only reason I'd bring it in here is to work on it, and I don't want to do that much work on it. It'd fit if I just sheared off the air conditioner. Anyways, another wall right here where the ceiling drops. So this section that we're in now is at 12-foot sidewalls here. The garage section over here is 10-foot sidewalls. I didn't want a monolithic building. I could have kept it all 12-foot for probably the exact same price because it's actually more work to do that 1-foot shift. But man, I didn't need it, and it looks a hell of a lot better on the outside. So this is, we're standing against the wall of the garage now, and lots of space. It's going to be really nice. It's going to allow me to more easily justify keeping all of my attachments and my John Deere, even though it's a little big for the property. Man, nothing like a hydraulic helper. That's all I can say. So there we go. Let's peek around back. Not a lot has changed metal-wise. Well, let's take a look anyways. This is all house wrapped. The reason for the wrap is because when they spray foam all the walls, whoo, that's glare. They spray foam all the walls this way it won't stick to the metal. And if you ever want to take off a piece of metal, you're set. Yeah, nothing much going on here. A little bit of white. But again, they got the trim all in. So they just got to finish her up. Well, this is where we're going to end the first chapter. The Amish crew that's doing the structure has completed this phase of the job. It looks good. The wife and I are very pleased with our selection of colors. It's obviously a very popular color choice these days, and we will, over time, make the house match it. In fact, we're even talking about doing the roof replacement that needs to be done on the house with matching metal as one step towards that. So that's about it for now. If you like the video, appreciate you hitting the thumbs up button. If you want to be notified for more, hit the subscribe and the little bell. And if not, hey, thanks for watching. Appreciate you being here. See ya.